in the headlines of this hour on VTV News. General Secretary Nguyen Trong, an outstanding theorist of the party. And Geneva Agreement, a historic milestone in Vietnamese diplomacy.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Good morning. It is 8 a.m. local time in Hanoi, and you're watching VTV News. I'm Nguyen with the top stories. Throughout his 60-year career, General Secretary Nguyen Trong always kept the party's theoretical work top of mind. During his more than 13 years as the party's chief, he consistently emphasized the importance of summarizing practices to continually supplement and develop the theory of socialism and the path to socialism.
2 years ago, the General Secretary's book, Some Theoretical and Practical Issues on Socialism and the Path Towards Socialism in Vietnam, was introduced. The book showcases the party leaders' intelligence and strong arguments on core fundamental issues of socialism and the path to socialism.
When we talk about socialism, General Secretary Nguyen Trong is the person who has grasped Uncle Ho's ideology the most. National independence associated with socialism is the consistent ideology of modern Vietnamese socialism. So, the General Secretary is very passionate.
In the book, General Secretary Nguyen Trong focused on explaining four major questions. What is socialism? Why did Vietnam choose it? How has the country gradually built socialism? And how has Vietnam implemented this theory? And what problems need to be resolved?
Party members are confident in the party's ideology. The party has shown maturity, rich experience, and great determination to work for people's happiness, the country's prosperity, and the party's practice and strength.
The General Secretary comprehensively and deeply summarized the theoretical and practical issues of the Vietnamese Revolution, thus leaving great impressions on national and international friends.
The ideas conveyed in the book are very timely, important, and useful. Opinion polls in Western Europe and the US show that young people no longer have high expectations about capitalism and are open to learning about Marxism and socialism.
Chinese theorists and readers always wish to learn more about the theoretical achievements of Vietnamese socialism. The publication of the General Secretary's book in Chinese is very timely and can help scholars worldwide understand more about socialism.
According to the General Secretary, a society should work for human development and humane values. These values will continue to help Vietnam thrive and prosper.
Apart from outstanding books on socialism, General Secretary Nguyen Trong also left behind many comprehensive theoretical studies. These works demonstrate his rich practical experience, sharp thinking, and profound understanding. The General Secretary made great contributions and was an excellent theoretician of the party.
Particularly devoted to the theoretical work on party building, General Secretary Nguyen Trong conducted research and provided directional guidance on party building, especially in politics, ideology, and organization, thus strengthening trust in the fight against corruption and negativity.
The General Secretary reaffirmed and clarified the theory of party building in a comprehensive and synchronous manner, especially emphasizing the relationship between rectifying, building, and perfecting the political system.
Throughout his life and devotion to theoretical work, the party leader summarized and elevated the party's theory on many important issues, including national solidarity, building Vietnamese culture, foreign affairs, the National Assembly's innovation process, and military and defense policies.
There are few people who can hold great responsibility in the political system and produce outstanding theoretical research like the General Secretary. What's more is that the party leader never took credit for his contribution, but we all valued and understood his role.
The General Secretary was both a theorist and practitioner, as well as the leader of the party. He deeply grasped Ho Chi Minh's ideology, as well as the achievements and theories of his predecessors, to summarize the country's practice and raise the theory to a new level.
A strong political party needs a scientific, theoretical foundation to guide its way. Without theory, the party will lose direction. Therefore, the theoretical legacy of the General Secretary will continue to consolidate and enrich the party's theoretical treasure and help the party and the people firmly believe in the path to socialism.
Heads of state and government, leaders of parliaments and political parties, and leaders of international organizations have sent their sympathies to Vietnam over the passing of the General Secretary of the Communist Party of Vietnam Central Committee, Nguyen Trong. Vietnam has received condolences from King of Cambodia, Sultan of Brunei Darussalam, President of Singapore, King of Thailand, Chairman of the Mongolian People's Party and Prime Minister of Mongolia, King Charles III of the United Kingdom, President of the United Socialist Party of Venezuela and Venezuela's President, Vice President of the United Socialist Party of Venezuela, King of Saudi Arabia and Crown Prince and Prime Minister of Saudi Arabia, President of Belarus, Chairman of the House of Representatives of the National Assembly of Belarus, Chairman of Belarus Belaya Rus Party Oleg Romanov, Speaker of Iran's Islamic Consultative Assembly, President of Kazakhstan, Secretary General of ASEAN, President of Tanzania, President of Burundi, President of the Indian National Congress Party, National Secretary of the French Communist Party, Chairman of the United Russia Party, General Secretary of the Communist Party of the Russian Federation, Chairman of A Just Russia for the Truth Political Party, General Secretary of the Communist Party of India, All India Forward Bloc General Secretary Devarajan, Chairman of the Central Committee of the Japanese Communist Party Shi Kazuo, Head of International Relations of the Communist Party of Spain, Head of the International Secretariat of the Communist Party of the People of Spain, General Secretary of the Communist Party of Ireland, South African Communist Party, Communist Party of Brazil, President of the State of Palestine and the Palestinian National Authority, Communist Party of Switzerland, Communist Party of Uruguay's Central Committee, and Communist Party of Bolivia. A tropical depression in the East Sea of Vietnam has strengthened into a storm named Prapirun. On Sunday, the storm was centered in the waters west of Vietnam's Hoàng Sa archipelago. It is expected to enter the Gulf of Tonkin on Monday evening. The National Center for Hydrometeorological Forecasting has warned that flash floods and landslides may occur in mountainous areas, while flooding could hit low-lying and urban areas. On the 77th anniversary of War Invalids and Martyrs Day, a candle lighting ceremony was held at Hàng Dương Memorial Cemetery in Côn Đảo District, Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu Province. This event paid tribute to the heroes and martyrs who sacrificed for the country's peace and reunification. Speaking at the ceremony, representatives of Ho Chi Minh City leaders expressed the gratitude of the entire party, people, and army to the heroes, martyrs, war invalids, families of martyrs, and those with meritorious services to the revolution. Delegates offer incense and lit more than 3,000 candles at Hàng Dương Cemetery, respectfully honoring the heroic martyrs. On July 21, 1954, the Geneva Agreement was signed after 75 days of intense negotiations. For the first time in the nation's history, the national rights of independence, sovereignty, unity, and territorial integrity were affirmed in an international treaty, recognized and respected by foreign countries. Along with the victory at Điện Biên Phủ, the Geneva Agreement successfully ended the resistance war against France.
On July 21, 1954, alongside the Declaration on the Restoration of Peace in Indochina, the agreement on the cessation of hostilities in Vietnam was signed between the Deputy Minister of Defense of the Democratic Republic of Vietnam and French Major General Henri Deltel. The agreement affirmed Vietnam's independence, sovereignty, unity, and territorial integrity. France was forced to end the war and withdraw all the troops from Indochina within 300 days. Peace was restored in Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia.
The Geneva Agreement left many valuable lessons that can be learned until today. We must know ourselves, know others, know the key moments, and know the situation, so that we can know how to respond in any circumstances. That is the lessons of using dialogue and peaceful negotiations to resolve disagreements and conflicts in international relations.
Trần Trí Trác was a youth union cadre in Quang Tien Commune. 70 years ago, he participated in the welcoming the southern compatriots to the north to train cadres for the Southern Revolution, creating a solid base to liberate the South and unify the country.
The agreement said that both sides agree and that people from the South would be able to go to the North for elections and then return. But unexpectedly, the US jumped into the South and prolonged the war, so people had to stay for a long time.
70 years ago, implementing the Geneva Agreement, 10,000 of cadres, soldiers, and students from the South gathered in the North at the port in Sam Son. However, the nation had to wait about 21 more years for the dream of unification to become a reality.
National origin is one of the important factors in connecting generations of Vietnamese people with their homeland. For young overseas Vietnamese, learning about the country's history not only helps them understand their roots better, but also makes them love and be proud of their country more. Let's delve into the emotions of young overseas Vietnamese people on their journey to learn about the nation's history at the Vietnam Summer Camp 2024.
Born in Nguyen and after spending 9 years away from home, Phương Linh is excited to visit Uncle Ho's hometown for the first time to learn about the life of the great leader of the nation.
I feel very proud because I'm Vietnamese and come from the same hometown as Uncle Ho. I was very emotional when I was offering incense. I won't forget this.
This is also the first time for many overseas Vietnamese to learn about the stories, historical figures, and origins of Vietnam. These are the stories they have only heard from their parents or read in books.
I read many stories and poems to learn about my parents' homeland so that I could connect with them.
I am a Vietnamese living abroad. I want to learn about the country's history because it is something that every Vietnamese person needs to know.
Young overseas Vietnamese also visited the Vietnamese heroic mothers and offered incense at the Martyrs Cemetery. These experiences helps them understand more about the brutality of the war.
I already experienced the Nha Trang in Hải Dương of my people. I've never seen so many soldiers as is today.
I've never done something like that, like this, and I think it's I got a privilege to pay respect to the soldiers and the people here. So I'm very glad that they fought for us so hard and they died for us. So I think we should pay respect to them as much as we could.
Pride, emotion, and respect are some of the feelings overseas Vietnamese youth experience when they return to their homeland and learn about the nation's history. This deepens their love and attachment to their homeland and country.
Now let's move on to the weather forecast. And that's all the news we have for this hour. To rewatch our program, you can download our mobile app VTVgo or check out our YouTube channel VTV4Go. Thank you for watching and see you next time.